Good morning. Before I get started on what I want to talk to you about, I do want to take a moment um, just to thank the Most High. Thank God for waking me up this morning, for the birds, for the trees, for shelter, for my cat, just for all the things. I'm so thankful for all of the things. Even the things that are posing difficulties in my life at the moment, I'm thankful for that too, because I do know that there is something on the other side of this. And I've been through a lot this year, some really nasty, ugly things that I didn't think that there would be another side to. And so I just know that there's something on the other side of this. And so I'm thankful for that. Now, it was on me so heavy when I woke up this morning. Oh yes, and for my prayer. In Jesus' name, I want to say thank you. Right. It was on me really heavy this morning. Frustration, confusion, irritation. Just like, how did I end up here? Like, really, most people would probably look at my life and be like, well, what do you have to complain about? There's nothing for you to complain about. What do you mean, how did you end up here? But you know, when you're unsettled in your soul, you know when you're unsettled in your heart. And I'm unsettled. I'm just going to be as completely transparent as possible. I'm unsettled in my soul and in my heart. And as I was thinking about this unsettling that I have, I was like, it was something in me that was like, share, right? And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to share this, but I need a word to go with it. And I opened the Bible and immediately I was given a word. So I'm just going to be as transparent as possible. You said yes to something you said yes to something during a season when you thought you were supposed to say yes. You agreed to do something during a situation where you thought that you were supposed to say yes. During a season where you thought you were supposed to say yes. This could have been years ago. This could have been the other day. This really could have even been last night. And you woke, because understand that we wake up with a new mindset. We wake up with new mercies, new soul. Everything is renewed the next day. So understand that it could have even been something that you went to sleep and you said yes to last night, and you woke up like, why did I say yes to that? You say yes to something, and during the season where you thought you were supposed to say yes, and now you're like, I should have said no. It could have even been a situation where you knew that you were supposed to say no too. You knew you were supposed to say no, but everything about this sounded right. It was a whole situation like, well, why wouldn't I say yes? What reason do I have to say no? You don't owe anybody an explanation for your no. Your no is as solid as your yes. You know how you can tell people yes and you don't give an explanation? No can be the same thing, okay? I need you to understand this. And this is something that I had to sit with myself. This isn't just me speaking to you. This is like speaking at you. This is also me speaking to myself. There's going to be a working in that. There's going to be a testimony on the other side of this, and you are in a position where God needs you to be, so that when you get to the other side of it, you have something to tell. There's somebody that needs this story. I'm not talking about the one that I'm telling. I'm talking about the one that you're sitting in the middle of, the one where you knew that you should have said no, but you said yes because everything seemed like you should have said yes. And now today, the burden of your yes, the responsibility of your yes is too heavy to carry, and you're trying to figure out, how do I get out of something I said yes to? How do I get out of a situation where during a season it sounded okay to say yes, and I said yes, and now today it ain't that? So now you're trying to figure this out. You were brought there for a reason, and God always gives you the grace to get through it. And I had someone of wise counsel give me this the other day, that God gives you the grace to get through those situations. You're going to get through the situation, but here's the thing. Because I hate when people tell me cliche things like, God's not going to give you too much that you can't handle. And like, duh, like, okay, I know that, but it seems like I'm handling a whole lot for a really long amount of time, and I'm starting to get really irritated, and I'm starting to get frustrated, and I'm waiting for God to show up, and it's looking like God is not showing up. Not only is God not here in the natural, you can't see in the natural, but understand that on the other side of this, in the supernatural, he is most definitely working on your behalf. I'm going to tell you what happened to me at church yesterday, or day before yesterday. And then I'm going to read this scripture that I was brought to, and I was just like, okay, I get it. I get it. So I was in church, and I had, right now working on your behalf, right now. Because I'm not just saying this because I'm not even, like I said at the beginning of the live, this is something I'm going through right now. So right now, it doesn't look like God is moving. I don't even, in fact, the situation seems impossible. It seems impossible. I'm like, God, how are you going to get me out of this one? Because it seems absolutely impossible. But that's how God works. That's how God likes to show up, in the impossible. So when it comes to pass, you can't say nothing but that was God. How many times have you had a, wow, that was God moment? So it's like where I am right now, it's impossible. It's literally impossible to me. But I know that he's about to show up. So I'm in church and I have my Bible out. I'm probably one of the few people nowadays that bring a tangible Bible, and you see I've worn it out and everything, that bring a tangible Bible to church. Most people probably just use their app. But I have a Bible, and I'm reading the Bible, and I'm asking God for a word. And so as I'm reading the Bible, this woman comes up to me. Her name is Miss Minnie. When I see her again, I'm going to speak to her again, and I'm going to give her my name, because her and I had a great exchange. But she comes up to me and she says, you never see people reading the Bible like this anymore. I am so happy to see you reading the Bible. And she talks about how she's so excited and how pastors should start encouraging people to read the Bible, like bring a tangible Bible into church more often. And then she goes into what the Lord told her that she needed to do on her walk. And little does she know, that was the word that I needed. I'm talking about the minute I said, Lord, I need a word. The minute I said that, I would say within 2 minutes, this woman came over, said something to me about me reading the Bible, and then went immediately into the word that I needed to hear from God, period. So understand that when we give it up and we don't think twice about it, and we just, you know what, God, I can't. I can't. He's working like immediately. And I realized even in that moment that it's in the word. Whatever you need, whatever you're looking for, it's in the word. Because like I said, she came over to me because I had a tangible Bible and I was in the word. If I was just scrolling my phone, she wouldn't have stopped and said anything to me. Even if I would have been in the Bible app, she wouldn't have stopped and said anything to me. It was because I had my word open, okay? So she comes over, and I'm not going to tell you at the moment what she said to me, because that's for me. That's for me. How she ministers to me in that moment was for me. But now, I got to tell you this, because I feel like whoever comes across this video is in the same exact season that I'm in. in the why did I say yes season. Like, because I woke up with like all of these responsibilities, and I thought to myself, these are not my responsibilities. And I'm not talking about like normal adult responsibilities, like, you know, putting gas in your car, paying bills, this, that, and the third. No, there were other responsibilities in my home right now, in my life right now, that I have said yes to, that don't belong to me. They do not belong to me. All right, so I'm reading Mark chapter 2, verse 11 through 12. And this is the story about the man with palsy that Jesus healed. So I'm going to read it. And this is Jesus speaking. Verse 11 is Jesus speaking. And then verse 12 is what was said, you know, what was done directly after that. Get out the camera. Like, it's not about you right now. Verse 11, I say unto thee, arise and take up thy bed. If you knock this over, I'm going to be so mad. I say unto thee, arise and take up thy bed and go thy way into thine house. Verse 12, and immediately he arose, took up the bed, and went forth before them all, insomuch that they were amazed and glorified God, saying, we never saw it on this fashion. So you're in a situation, like I said, where you've said yes to something. Now you're like, why did I say yes? And I'm so deep into the situation. I'm deep in it. How do I turn around and say no? It seems impossible. It's going to be that simple. God is going to come through and say, I say unto thee, arise and take up thy bed and go thy way into thine house. And immediately he arose, took up the bed, and went forth before them all. So your impossible situation is not only going to be rectified by God, not only is it going to be fixed by God, but it's going to be done in front of everybody. And it's going to be done in such an it's so impossible, and it's going to be done in such an amazing fashion that they also are going to have to admit, oh my God, that was God. It couldn't be nothing but God. And they even are going to say, we've never saw it done in this fashion. Hold on. Okay? Just hold on. And this is me speaking to myself. Like I said, I'm going through this situation as well. Hold on. There's never any tangible evidence when it comes to faith. And I think that that's why a lot of people lean into things where there's a middleman, where you lean into things where you can see tangible evidence of faith, right? Walking with God, truly walking with God, you can't see what it looks like. It is a supernatural thing where you have to give all of your faith unto the Lord. For him to come back and be like, get up and go in your house, and you get immediately up. Allow this situation that you're in, this burden that you're carrying, this frustration, this irritation that you're carrying because you said yes in a season where you thought you were supposed to say yes, and now years have passed, weeks have passed, hours have passed, whatever, and now it's like impossible. Like, how am I going to get out of this? Allow him to show up in that impossible situation so that not only you are amazed, but so are the people that this situation is happening in front of. There is a working happening. And God wouldn't be God if you knew all the ins and outs of how your situation is to be rectified. God wouldn't be God if you knew exactly how to get out of it. In fact, you wouldn't be dependent on God if you were so independent. If you could just get through everything, you wouldn't need him. That's not how God is designed to be. God didn't design us to do it alone, but to have faith that although we can't see anything, it's getting done. So in this moment, you may even start blaming people for for the fact that you said yes when you thought you were supposed to say yes and you should have said no. And so now that you're frustrated and you're irritated and you're in a situation where you should have said no, now you're looking to go point the finger at other people. You're looking to go blame other people. You may be wanting to do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. There's also something else I want to say. You're not going to see the end of how to get out of this situation. You have to be so reliant on the Most High. You have to be so reliant on the guidance of the Most High that you're taking it step by step. You're not supposed to see the end of it. Again, if you saw the end of how you're getting out of this situation, where can you depend on the Most High? Where can you depend on God? When can you depend on Him? You need to take it a step at a time. So there's going to be a nudge. In your situation, there's going to be a nudge. There's going to be a feeling. Most people always be like, something told me to do blah, 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 blah. Or I know I should have done blah, 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 blah. That's God. Don't gloss that over. So in this impossible situation that you're in, you're going to feel it. Something told me to do that. That's God. Do it. That's step one. You'll do it. Something will happen. Something will move. Something will shift. Maybe it be your mindset. Maybe it be your situation in the physical. You see things shifting, people moving, acting different, or you are moving and acting different, and you feel a little bit more confident to get through the situation that you shouldn't have been in the first place. And you're like, okay, something happens. Then it happens again. This time you don't say, something told me to do this. You know that that's God. You feel it. A nudge, a move, a thought. Let me go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and get it done right now. You ever have that feeling too? Like, let me get it done. Let me just go ahead and do it. Because if I don't do it now, then I'm going to have to do it later. That's God too. That's God too. They don't tell you that. That's God too. Do it. That's step two. And each time you get a little bit better with listening to God and hearing God navigate you through a situation you thought impossible to get out of. And like I said in the verse, and immediately he arose, took up the bed and went forth before them all. Your impossible is going to be done in front of them all of the people that thought it impossible for you too. All the people that was like, why is she quitting a job where everything, why is he quitting a job where he's given everything? Why is he leaving a relationship that we just knew was so, all of those questions is going to be done before them all, and you're going to be able to say, oh my gosh, that was God. He went forth before them all, insomuch they were all amazed and glorified God, saying, we never saw it in this fashion. Your impossible is going to be something they've never seen before. So allow God to do a working. Allow Him to do the working. And I think that's all I have to say this morning. I really had to get that off my chest because, like I said, it's something I'm going through too. And my situation seems impossible. And there are things that I was supposed to have done that instead of following that path, and instead of staying on that path, instead of keeping my nose to the ground and focused on that one thing, I said yes to other things. I say yes to this. I say yes to that. I say yes to other things. Not putting myself first. Worrying about other people. Putting them before me. Putting their needs before me. Putting their dreams before mine. And now I'm here like, I can't do this. I am believing, and I need you to believe that the impossible will happen. I need you to know that even though you can't see any tangible evidence of it, God is working on your behalf, and it starts with just a small something told me. Something told me to do that. Okay? I'm done. I need to go do something I said yes to that I don't feel like doing. But I love y'all. Have a good day, evening, night, whenever you happen to watch the replay. And just take it easy and just understand that the battle is not yours. Like none of the difficult we are supposed to be handling. We really supposed to just be chilling, and we really supposed to just give it up and just chill. Okay, I love you all. Have a great day. Peace.